Hi everyone, my name is Chitra and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to learn how to shoot a stop motion video using the Instagram Reels editor. If you're new to my channel, please do subscribe. I create tutorials and videos for content creators and small business owners all about creating content. I own a small business myself, and I know there's nothing like a blueprint or a manual online when you're trying to grow your business through Instagram, and content creation is one of your major roles that you have to play. So follow along, and I hope you find today's video useful. In the last video we posted, we went over the complete end-to-end process of how to shoot a stop motion. So if you're new to shooting stop motions, I would definitely recommend you check that video out. Today's video is just going to be a small extension of that. We're going to learn how to shoot a stop motion video using the Instagram Reels editor. Using the Instagram app to shoot your stop motions is a really easy and also free way to shoot stop motions. It's perfect if you are short on time and just want to get something done quickly. Even for our small business, when we are short on time and we have a pretty good idea of the stop motion that we want to click, we do use this method. The biggest downside I would say to using the Instagram app to shoot your reel is going to be that you can't save the individual files. So if you remember from the previous video, a stop motion is going to be a series of pictures which you edit together. And traditionally, when you're shooting on your camera or on your phone, each picture that you click is going to be an individual file. Whereas when you're shooting on Instagram, that's not going to be the case. You're going to have a one long video and you're not going to have access to the little files. So let's get started. Here is today's setup. This is a front view stop motion, so I have my tripod set up accordingly. We're using an iPhone 12 to shoot today. Remember, when you are shooting a front view stop motion, it's really important to have a static background. If you are in a place where the background might be shifting, for example, there's going to be people in your shot, or maybe it's a window, I would recommend either using a backdrop or a wall. If there are items or objects that are moving in the background, your stop motion is not going to look as clean. It's going to look a little bit confusing because along with the products that are moving in your shot, there's going to be items in the background that are also moving. And this will draw focus away from your products, and your audience won't know where they're supposed to be focusing. As usual, we have planned the shoot beforehand. Having a well-planned shoot is really helpful, and we go over the planning process in our previous video, so remember to check that out if you haven't already. The idea that I have for this shoot is to show a lazy Sunday afternoon, sipping some tea and reading many books. On the right side, I'm going to have 7 to 8 books pile up, and then a vase of flowers to come into the frame, a cup of tea, and then some cookies. Grab your phone and let's get started. You're going to start by opening up the Instagram app. We're going to tap on the create button and then head over to the Reels. Something to remember is that the Reels editor on Instagram actually shoots videos. It's not clicking a photo. If you remember from our previous video, a stop motion is a series of photos edited together. So what we're going to do to get around this portion is actually press on our trigger button really quickly. This will create a 0.1 second video, which actually looks like a photo. The first clip will always be a blank, so let's double tap to record the frame. Have a look at this clip. It's super short, and because nothing in the frame is moving, it looks like a photo. Now let's start adding some props. First, the book goes in. As you place the book into your frame, you're going to double tap to capture the frame. Here's what the first 2 shots look like. Now we're gonna add in our second book. Place the book and make sure your hands are not in the frame. Step away from the frame so your shadow is not falling on the books or any of the props. Let's add in the next book. Remember, if your double tap was too long, don't worry, we can go back and edit it. I'll show you how to do this in a little bit. Now that all the books are added in, we're going to add in the flowers. Remember to position your props, remove your hands from the frame, and then click the photo. If you're having any kind of confusion about the placement of your hands and removal of your hands or anything like that, again, I go into this very much in depth in our previous video, so do check that out. All right, let's finish adding the vase. Knowing what the final image is going to look like is really important, so you know exactly the position to move your items so the final shot can come together. If you don't know your final position, you don't know where the objects you're moving around should be heading. The last thing we're going to be adding is the teacup. Again, we want to position the teacup so we are 100% happy with the final position. Place the teacup, remove your hands, and double tap. I want this to happen rather quickly. So in a stop motion, if I want to speed up how fast something is appearing, I can either lessen the time I'm showing each photo. However, I'm going to take a different approach here. Instead of speeding up range of photos, I'm only planning on taking 4 photos. So I've already planned out in my head to do this, and I want the cup to fill up evenly. So first, I'm going to fill up the cup a quarter of the way, click my first photo, half of the way, click my second photo, 3/4 of the way, click my third photo, and then fully, and then click my final photo. You can see I have kind of planned this out to detail, and we do this often when we're planning our stop motion. That just means that when you're watching the cup fill up, it's going to fill up in a even manner. I'm not going to continue showing you photos while the cup is already full, or in the first shot, it's gonna be full 75% of the way, and the rest of the photos, it's not filling up with the same speed. So let's pour the first quarter. Double tap and repeat. We already kept the tea pre-made. I would recommend keeping all of your props ready to make the shooting process a little more seamless. This is extra important when you are shooting with natural light. If you take a long time between shots, the lighting could change, which looks odd between pictures. Now let's get editing. Editing on the Instagram app is pretty simple because you don't have a lot of options. After you finish capturing your last shot, tap the preview button to move to the next screen. Here you can see an overview of the stop motion you've created. Here is what an unedited version looks like. You can see that it's not as smooth as it could be. What we need to do is edit the timing of each clip. Tap the back button on the top left corner. You'll come back to your shooting screen. From here, you want to tap the back arrow next to your record button. This is where you'll see all of the clips you have just recorded. Scroll back through until you reach your first clip. Tap the scissor icon, which will let us trim the clip. I'm going to trim my clips to 0.15 seconds each by moving these little white bars at the end. After trimming the clip, tap the trim at the top right-hand corner and move to your next clip. This is something different you will notice from when we were editing on InShot in the last tutorial. In InShot, it did not let us select the 0.05 increments, where Instagram lets you do that. For stop motion, keep your clips somewhere between 0.1 to 0.3. Once you're done, write your caption, add in your hashtag, and post. Don't forget to also add in a trending audio. Here's what our final stop motion looks like. Also wanted to give a special shout out to my team who is shooting the B-roll. Having someone help me shoot the B-roll or the tutorial part of this is extremely helpful, and it just speeds up the process in which I can upload these videos for you guys. Remember, if you haven't subscribed already, please do hit the subscribe button, and also like this video if you enjoyed it and found it helpful. I will see you next week.